recent times, Brisbane has been hailed as Australia's latest city on the rise and is able to back this claim with its ongoing infrastructure expansion. To cope with the pressure of this rising development and population growth, the Queensland State Government has proposed to build a 3.3 kilometre bypass linking Moggill Road with Centenary Highway. This is to free up traffic congestion along the Kenmore section of Moggill Road. The area in which the bypass will run through will eliminate a substantial amount of green space and native habitat for the local wildlife. Included within the local wildlife is a population of koalas. Habitat destruction, domestic dog attacks, bushfires and road accidents are all major factors in the decline of this unique Australian species. The documentary will investigate two biological aspects of the local koala population that's going to be significantly impacted by the Kenmore bypass. These include the habitat fragmentation and the disturbance of their social structure. When dealing with infrastructure expansion such as the Kenmore bypass, the environmental consequences are often overlooked in favour of our own population's gain. If the road is to have minimal impact on its natural surroundings, the resource requirements of the local species must be taken into account. Direct habitat loss and increased fragmentation pose key threats to the continued viability of wild koala populations throughout Australia. Socially stable koala populations occur only when there are primary eucalyptus tree species present and other koalas within an area.
Spotted gum, that grows everywhere. That's a very, very common tree, grows every single place. Tallow wood, that's also another common one on creek beds, and also blue gum. That's very good for that's a favorite trees like to eat blue gums, and they're found in swampy areas or very low-lying moisture content areas.
One koala eats approximately 200 to 600 grams of leaf matter a day, which equates to approximately 1,500 trees per year. This influences the size of the home range area a koala inhabits, which consists of the tree species that provides it with food, shelter and places for social contact. Undoubtedly, a major road like the Kenmore bypass going through the middle of the koala's home ranges would have a significant impact on the long-term survival of the local koala population.
Home territory areas, which can be quite a few kilometres diameter, and yet with development, making roads and houses and clearing all bushland, their food trees. Also, like say in a koala habitat area, you make a road right through the middle, and if that's the homeland of a koala, he wants to get down to another tree on the side of the road here, and so he's got to come down the ground and walk across that road.
Yep.
And usually when trucks or vehicles or other cars don't really care about it at all, so they just run over and squash, and that's why it's very vulnerable to development and human contact.
Koalas unfortunately have not evolved over time to develop wings to travel from tree to tree, which leaves them no alternative but to traverse across the ground to locate new food sources or to find potential mates during breeding season. As an enteroparous species, females generally start breeding at around 3 to 4 years of age and usually only produce one offspring per year. The average female's lifespan is about 12 years, meaning that one female may produce only 5 or 6 offspring in her lifetime. Disturbance of the social structure of the koalas due to the Kenmore bypass can result in lowered chances of finding a mate and stress-related diseases, reducing their ability to reproduce.
The trees, because their habitat is so fragmented and so diminished, so they're probably they're definitely, if we're talking about the Kenmore area, having to cross roads and travel those sorts of distances just to find appropriate food. But then of course when you get a young male leaving his mother's home range, he'll also want to move on as well. So it's also just part of their ecology that they will.
Male koala's lifespan averages about 10 years, whereas their survival rate living near a highway or urban development is only between 2 and 3 years. This leads to a large drop in abundance of young koalas, and without viable age diversity within a population, the risk of extinction becomes significantly larger. The environmental impact of the proposed 3.3 kilometre Kenmore bypass on the local koala population will undoubtedly prove to be detrimental and could easily result in the extinction of the local koala population if approved.
From the UK that we're so excited to come here today and see a koala for the first time, so I think it would be detrimental to Australia to wipe out one of our national animals.
Symbolic to Australia.
Yeah,
right.
If you come to Australia, you have to get a picture with a koala, or it's just, you have a bad nostril.
Fortunately, there are alternatives to the bypass, such as a pedestrian bridge from Sugar Road to Sumners Road at River Hills, linking commuters directly to public transport. This bridge not only greatly benefits the local community, but also gives the local koala population a far better chance at a continued existence within the area.